So step one, viruses enter our cells by binding it onto antenna-like receptors that protrude out from the cell membrane. This bonding process results in the fusion of the viral and the cell membranes, which allows the virus to pass into the cell. See, this is a mediator to do that, and that is not on a healthy cell. I'm going to tell you, when you see these, I don't know if we have them up to show you, but these are cells that they call amyloid plaque and Alzheimer's and things like that. You just see the proteins and the mucus that attack it. You know, the immune system is a mucus system. And you'll see mucus all over the cells or glycoproteins and things like this all around cells all the time because that's the lymph system. I don't know what to tell them. The viral material is instantly and effectively encapsulated, quarantined into an endosome as a protective measure by the cell. French professor of microbiology and world-renowned expert in infectious diseases, Dr. whatever, has been treating coronavirus patients successfully with chloroquine, which is well documented to inhibit virus entry. That's scary. Oh, real scary. This is step number 2. Activation is triggered by the influx of potassium ions. Okay, hear this? The virus activation is triggered by the influx of potassium ions passing through the M2 ion channels along the cell membrane. All right? Now, the change from a sodium to a potassium-rich environment is in maturing endosomes. Now, endosomes, these are departments where the cell stores its metabolitic waste, its acids. It's like they're a septic tank inside septic tanks. And that's right where these proteins go. Well, let me read on. The change, okay, so who produces the potassium? Kidneys. And who deals with the sodium? Adrenals. That's why you crave salt when you have weak adrenal glands. So you have sodium-potassium balance in the body. That sodium-potassium balance deals with cell absorption and the like. So that has to be a good balance for there to be, I won't say cell respiration, but proper membrane wall movement, the movement of nutrition and energetics through a cell membrane wall. And it's interesting that when a cell is damaged, that the sodium backs down, but the potassium kicks up, which is the kidneys kicking up. Interesting stuff. And then, of course, potassium is an electrolyte hydrator, alkalizer, decreases the pH of the environment within the endosomes, which triggers the uncoating of the viral core inside the cell and importation of the viral RNA into cell's nucleus, where replication and transcription take place. That only takes place in weakened cells, guys. And one of the problems is man is weakening his cells of his body like nobody's business. So man is going to be attacked on all levels. This is why I said there's 2 things that represent health. Clean and strengthen the human body. Now, a change in pH within the endosome releases viral RNA. Step depends on you. Okay, so this is the 3rd step that the official nephrology site is talking about. Once viral matter is dispatched throughout the body, it is up to the immune system, and specifically the lymphatic system. Oh, wait a minute, who wrote this? To combat the infection, that they use infection. Wait a minute. This is the what? The International Society of Nephrology? Interesting, huh? See, it just makes a lot of scratching of the head that they couldn't put this together for themselves a long time ago. Especially with this right in their face. The kidney failure is one of the problems. How many people have kidney failure? I'd say literally almost everybody to a certain extent. Get this. Our lymphatic system consists of vascular system, glands, and organs. Wow. So it's a whole system unto itself, right? Right. It extends all throughout the body. Pretty cool. It is connected to every cell via lymphatic vessels and the interstitial fluid. Just what I teach you guys. Now wait a minute. Remember this? Remember this A&P journal? Typically taught in colleges all around the world. No lymphatic system in the brain or bone marrow. See, so you want to learn by going back and reading books that don't have the truth in them? Think on your own. Tap into consciousness and all your answers will be given to you. They will give you the answers, and you can hear them and know them and see them. It's like, oh, I get it. That's what happens when you quit thinking. When you're thinking, you go to these books and try to figure it out. Not going to work. The mind hasn't understood the kidneys yet. We introduced that. All right, so it extends all throughout the body. It's connected to every cell via the lymphatic vessels and the interstitial fluid. What's the interstitial fluid, guys? Come on, just tell the world. The fluid that flows around every cell you have. Why would that be? How do we get into that little person, that little cell, that little person, and feed it and clean it? And two fluids need to be two fluids. You can't clean and feed from the same blood. You can't do that. It's impossible. And for the medical community to ever think the body's going to dump its waste into the blood, that's when you're in serious trouble. Not the natural thing. All right. That's a fluid, that's a liquid interstitial fluid. It says that the liquid that surrounds each cell. Got it. Unlike the circulatory system, the lymphatic system does not transport blood and plasma. Thank you. It's an entirely system unto itself, guys, and you guys should know that. I mean, you're teaching it right here. It transports lymph, a white fluid that carries our white blood cells throughout the body and to areas of infection. Now, infection simply means acidosis and inflammation. No other word, because inflammation is a response to that. So you see that there's no blood. You see them come together a little bit. You ever pop a pimple on your face and you get all that white and you get a little blood out of it? That's the interstitial fluid. There is a little blood in the interstitial fluid, just a little bit in certain ways. The deeper, no. But a little bit at times, absolutely. The role of the lymphatic system, the role of the lymphatic system is to transport hormones, to absorb and transport fatty acids. Now, what happens when your lymphatic system becomes stagnant and the highway is full? There's no ability to transport anything anymore. So listen to this. Your hormones can't be distributed properly. So then you feel like you're deficient in your hormones or steroids, but then you take more to balance that out instead of fixing your lymphatic system and fixing your body, because most of the glands dump into the lymphatic system their hormones and steroids, and then it's metered better instead of directly into the blood. So you can ask yourself, what happens when the lymphatic system becomes stagnant? In other words, it's not flowing well, not good. You know, anybody ever see copper water pipes after about 30, 40 years, or any metal pipe that transports water after a while? All the minerals build up around it after time and after time. Instead of having, say, a 3/4 inch hole, you've got maybe a 1/4 inch hole. Okay, get this. All right, whoever wrote this person is right there. Right? The role of the lymphatic system transport hormones to absorb and transport fatty acids. We talked about that before. Your gallbladder deals with lipids, deals with the lymphatic system. Your pancreas is your digestive organ for the blood. Now, fats from the digestive system are essential for our cells. Remove waste / unwanted proteins, toxins, and combat infectious matter. It's just that you guys know the connection between the kidneys and the lymphatic system. These guys connected that when you have kidney failure, you can die from a flu. Then why would you not start to think about what can I use to fix kidney failure? Pharmaceuticals? There's no pharmaceutical. I mean, you could use an anti-inflammatory, but how do you get in and fix these tissues? You've got to work on the very system that's down, that's creating all these problems. And which system is that? Oh, the broken record one, the lymphatic system. I get it. Our white blood cells are an essential part of our lymphatic system. Remember, we talked about that the other day, the lymphocytes. And there's neutrophils, basophils. I mean, you see that when you get a blood workup and you ask for a complete blood count, which I don't even know why they call it a complete blood count, because it's no way complete, in my opinion, with diff or without diff. And what it is, it shows your immune panels, it shows your platelets, it shows your blood, your white blood, your red blood cells, where you're at with those, and then the size of the cells, all that sort of thing. the white blood cells include lymphocytes, neutrophils, monocytes. Now, monocytes and macrophages, but monocytes become macrophages. Now, most macrophages are really restricted to lymph nodes. There might be some monocytes out in the body, but the macrophage side, in my opinion, is reserved for the lymph nodes because these are cannibal cells. They're designed to take care of either virally involved or any involved cell that is weakened to the point that it is initiating an immune response. That's exactly what these cells are designed to. Bacteria isn't designed to eat on a cell. Bacteria is designed to go after the wastes and byproducts. So you have immune cells that deal with the cells and the bacteria that deals with the waste from the cells. See the difference? There might be a point where the cells are broken down enough and waste from macrophages, the bacteria then work on that. Maybe that. Macrophages, natural killer T cells, dendritic cells, platelets, and endothelial cells. Well, the problem, the T cells, I talked about this in the last video, the T's and the B's and the NKs, which I just like to call them all NKs, natural killers. These are predominantly in the blood, however, not so much in the lymph. And these are thymus cells, bone marrow cells. These are the big boys. White blood cells are found in the lymph, lymphatic tissue, and blood. They are produced in the bone marrow, lymph node, and thymus gland. They are an essential part of the immune. Now let's see here. What is the connection between viruses like COVID-19, the lymphatic system, and the kidneys? In the article published in Kidney International, the official journal of the International Society of Nephrology, we learned that not only that mortality rate was significantly higher among patients with SARS with the kidney failure, renal tissues revealed predominantly acute tubular necrosis with no evidence of glomerular pathology, which is interesting. This is vital as it is kidney tubulars that regulate our body's balance of water and electrolytes throughout the body. What happens when water reabsorption is compromised? The fluid surrounding the cells, the interstitial fluid, loses water due to kidney impairment, and a water solute imbalance occurs, meaning, and it goes on with that. But they got to also understand that most people are highly dehydrated. And from that, gosh, I got so many desks, I forget which drawer anything is in. But I hope that helps you because you're simply involved on this planet with chemistry, physics, which is the energy and how energy manifests itself into chemistry and the frequencies of electromagnetic energy. So you know that all things rest on two pillars. You also know that there are certain laws of nature that medical doctors need to learn. And I will say a lot of naturopaths. And one of the big primers, and I've taught this all my life, the strong survive, the weak are consumed. And that's true at the very cellular level, that's true at emotional levels, that's true at mental levels, and that's true at spiritual levels. The weak are always consumed, either by a guru like a maniac in India, because there are some of them out there. I've seen people, totally hypnotized by these guys, and all that. So man has to start realizing that you yourselves, each and every one of you, are the individual expression of the divine. And the divine has set this whole world up to feed and clean the forms that are needed to survive here. And when you have a health modality that doesn't understand that and doesn't understand the rhythm of nature, how chemistry reacts and moves through, that they're lost in some type of pseudoscience thought that acidosis is proper and that alkalosis is the main problem, really? Why would you even practice anything thinking that? Because it's unscientific. It isn't true at all. So there's so much that's deficient in the medical world and it's killing a lot of people. We as healers understand how to bring someone through a flu. If you don't understand how to bring yourself or someone else through a flu, let's work together more and more on it because you need to do that. I had a big talk with our staff. Some of them were pulling the fear button. I said, get out. Nobody works for me that has fear because we don't have fear. There's no fear. You have to know truth and understand what's going on. Then you can act and react properly to the situation and deal with this.